Sincerely, Lady C. And honestly, I should have done a diary entry a while ago, but I've just been busy. And sometimes when I do a diary entry, I end up crying. So I didn't feel like crying. I've done enough of that. But the reason why I'm doing an entry is so that I can read to you what we wrote to the Tennessee Advocacy Group. As you know from the last videos, your mom joined a Tennessee Advocacy Group where they advocate for infertility coverage for Tennessee, which you know that Tennessee does not have infertility coverage, and my school definitely doesn't offer coverage to have babies to women and couples that struggle with building their family. And you know, because you watched your diary, that I already asked my school system to cover it and they denied me. So I did try to appeal and they denied. So I joined the Tennessee Advocacy Group and they asked to write story so they can share it on their page. And I've written my story a couple times before, and I didn't know. It's just hard every time I sit down and try to write it over and over. But this one I saved so I wouldn't have to keep writing it over and over. But of course the story will change as soon as we start our IVF process, as soon as we start the actual buying shots and seeing doctor. Of course the story will change and I would have to update it. And especially when you come, definitely would have to update my story, or you guys come. But anyway, so I wanted to take this time to read my story, or our story, and read to you what we gave the Tennessee Advocacy Group. Now, after the advocacy group posted it on their Facebook page, and then I shared it, it seemed like it got more attention than the YouTubes or me posting on Facebook about it. Just by them reading my story changed a lot. Just by the Tennessee Advocacy Group posting it, I've had so many women message me on my Facebook and just said thank you for sharing. It's helping me to not be ashamed to. Or women that have questions, or women that say, you've done this, let me ask you what to expect. Or I've had women message me and say, hey, I've been there, I know what you're feeling, and I'm praying for you, keep on going. And then I had one event that just floored me. Like, I ended up crying for some time. Like, that, it topped the cake for my emotions, is when a friend named Sharita Latson, you'll meet her one day, she created a GoFundMe account. And that definitely would help raise funds. Your mom also, she also is going, she's doing the after school programs at school. And I only chose to do it twice a week so I don't overwhelm myself. But after school program to bring in more money. And she's also, your mom is also taking pictures. She's promoting like a fundraiser. Well, stop talking in third person. I am also promoting pictures to advertise so that people can ask me to do their photos so I can raise money for IVF. And we're starting an IVF fund, and hopefully soon we can start the process so we can meet you one day. I'm already emotional. Like, I've been tenderhearted today. I also tenderhearted because, you know, like when I start to doubt and when I get a little in my emotions, I go shopping for you. So I bought some cute stuff. Of course, it sticks with the koala theme, the little koalas. So I'm excited about it. And then it's gender neutral, so hopefully, I think koalas are gender neutral. If they're not, I'm sorry. Look, and then I bought some more of these. But I had to just go shopping a little bit for you. Anyway, let me read the story that kind of like broke the ice a little bit. So I try not to get emotional. All right. Within the first year of our marriage, we noticed we were not getting pregnant. I made an appointment with the OBGYN. That is when the journey actually began. The doctor started us on Clomid, which is usually the first step in a lot of infertility journeys. The doctor started us out on Clomid. Ovulation shots began after a few failed rounds of Clomid. We did 10 months of Clomid with max dosage every month, monthly ovulation shots, and monthly blood work. We still were not pregnant. The financial journey has been out of pocket because our insurance did not cover it. But at this time, paying out of pocket was manageable. Now with I guess I'm just talk about it a little bit. With the Clomid, we started on 1 dose. And then the first month, my whatever levels weren't right or weren't enough, I don't know, after the blood work. So we went to the 2nd dose, and then it wasn't right yet. We went to the 3rd dose, and then finally hit the 4th dose. And the doctor said he will not go up anymore from the 4th. So I maxed out at 4th. But every month, I had to go in there and set up an appointment for an ultrasound. And then pick up my pills. And after doing 4 days of the pills, I had to set up another appointment to go in for the shot. And then after so many days, I had to go in and schedule an appointment for blood work. So I at least saw the doctor 4 to 5 times a month with hopes and then disappointment. So my emotions were crazy. Let me keep reading. You see, I'm a teacher and I care for many children that are not mine year after year. While going through the infertility treatments, I maintained the strength to keep teaching. It was hard, and it still is hard. I kept showing up for my children at 7 a.m. with a smile and a good morning because I knew they needed me. I tried to hide that I was walking in pain after 10 months of failed attempts to get pregnant, hiding puffy eyes from students and smiling through the disappointments. I asked my husband for a break. I was physically and emotionally drained from the weight of being a teacher and wanting to build my own family. We took about 7 months off before we called the doctor again. He referred us to Nashville Infertility Center, which I love my doctor. He's the same one that did my surgery to remove fibroids and to remove my tubes, my fallopian tubes. We were meeting virtually by this time. The first thing he set up was an HSG. Super uncomfortable, and my experience was painful for that quick moment in time, but worth it. We found out why we were not getting pregnant. The HSG revealed that my fallopian tubes were damaged, inflated, blocked, filled with fluid and everything else. He said it was just pointless to have my tubes, basically. My tubes were the cause of us not getting pregnant. Even an IUI would not have worked because the fluids blocked the sperm from reaching the egg. Now, IUI is, I guess they call it like a turkey baster. I forgot the term they used, but really they inject sperm close enough to the egg when ovulation happens. Something like they inject you with sperm, and then with hopes that the sperm will fertilize the egg. And that costs, somebody told me it only costs them $500 for each one, even though I'm not downplaying it or like saying IVF is, I'm not measuring the two, because whatever experience in infertility is hard, period. Whatever your infertility journey is, it's hard. But if I could choose, I would have chose Clomid But if Clomid wouldn't have worked between IUI and IVF, I would have definitely chose IUI. Anyway, IVF is on the move. IUI wouldn't have worked because the fluids were blocked from reaching the egg. The doctor said Greg could have super sperm and it still would not be enough because it would not have made it through my fallopian tubes because of the fluid. The only option for us would be IVF. So I did call the doctor and I said, hey, how about fixing the tube so, no fluid and you can like unravel it. And the nurse was saying, you can actually spend money in doing that, but I would be wasting money because my tubes are so damaged, the scars would just return. So that was out the picture. So I did try to see if they could reverse the damage. After more examinations, my doctor found fibroids. He recommended surgery, so we did. The surgery was to remove my fallopian tubes to avoid any fluid dripping during IVF, and the surgery was to remove my fibroids. So with that, sorry, getting emotional. My doctor recommended that my tubes be removed. So when they inject the fertilized egg, my fallopian tubes, the fluid from my fallopian tubes won't interfere with the process. So I said, remove them. If that's what it takes, then go ahead and remove them. All right. Here's where my heart had the most trouble and my mind battled freedom. I can do this, but I know I'm going to cry. So little baby Richmond, just stand by. Serving my community as a teacher, I would think they would support their teachers with their own family building. I have been like a second mom to so many children. And side note, one of my students actually messaged me and said, hey, me too. And that really got me because not only was I her math teacher, but now it's almost like I'm inspiring her to speak out and not be ashamed and not be guilty of the fact that you too have to go through infertility. So I thought it was a blessing to be able to still be an inspiration to her, spite of the journey at hand. So, that took a little emotion. So I have been like a second mom to so many children. I want to be somebody's first mom, just mom, basically. My school system does not offer infertility treatments. I took the step to appeal and ask for coverage, which that was hard. However, they denied my coverage. Year after year, I raised children that are not mine. As a teacher, we want the support to have children of our own, me and Gregory. We want that support. They did not consider even to cover a little bit of IVF because I turned around and I asked the representative for my case or my health benefit coverage. I asked her if they would consider covering some. And in many gentle words, it was basically a no. All right. They did not consider even to cover a little bit of IVF. We do not know how we will afford IVF treatments, but we are still trusting and believing God will make a way. I don't even know why I tried to do this. I knew I was going to cry, and I have not done a video because of this. I still return to school with a troubled heart every day. And my mind battling freedom every day. I give my heart selflessly to children and come home to the echo of my voice, praying and the sound of my tears dropping on the carpet in an empty room dedicated to a miracle. This room.
your room. So many questions, but our hope and trust is in God, the only miracle worker we know. We, or maybe I, created a virtual diary that brings me hope. It is a virtual diary that I get a moment to talk to little baby Richmond and tell him, her, or them that I am thinking of them and I am preparing for them. So thank you for every prayer and support while we walk in our journey. Please share our story with others. Help us inspire fertility coverage and to let women and couples know that they are not alone. #us too. #the Richmond experience. #baby Richmond. Best regards, Mr. and Mrs. Richmond. And then I put the link to donate for those who are not local. Oh, this is the letter. This is the letter that I'm sending with the thank you gift magnet from photography. So with the fundraiser for photography, I'm actually I have like a thank you magnet gift packet with a letter of my story, our story, your story in it. So hopefully people call or message to say they want to support. But if they're not local, they can always give to the GoFundMe account that Shirley Latson created. But I just wanted to read to you what we posted that really broke the ice. And then me and your dad went live. That was super scary, but fun at the same time. Who knew? Like, we were just gonna do a video and post it. But after like 2 or 3 takes, I was like, why don't we just go live? And he was like, all right, let's go live. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't even ready. But I guess he was ready too. So I just wanted to say hi. And I just wanted to say that I was thinking about you. And I'm getting off. Until next time, little baby Richmond, I am dreaming about you, praying for you already. I love you.